We adopted our dog Ernie on June 6, 2006 from Animal Angels Dog Rescue. And he was a little Cocker Spaniel, and getting a dog on 6/6/06, we weren't sure if we were getting a little angel or a little devil, but what we got was a little bit of both. Ernest's official name, at least at the vet, was Ernest P. Farnsworth, but he had many nicknames. He was Ernie Baloney because he would steal your bologna sandwich and not have any guilt. He was Ernie Puddles, not that he peed in the house, but because we'd be at the dog park and he would be bored and wanting to go home, so he would pee on us and fill our shoes full of urine, but sometimes it would be the person near us that he thought was us, and they would just be collateral damage. But he was really Ernie Houdini, because we could not keep him in. We'd have a fenced backyard, he was on the other side of the fence. Any corral, any cage could not keep Ernie in. He was Ernie Houdini. But Ernie Houdini, as he grew old, he got cataracts, one eye, the other eye, and both eyes, and he went blind. And we helped him through his blindness. He was amazing. We put scented discs around, and so he could find his dog dish easier and find the dog door. And all the furniture that was sharp was put up, and gates. And one day, we moved from the south relocated up to Lancaster. And a couple months after living here, I was driving around doing errands on a Saturday, and my phone rang, and it was the police. And I've never been called by the police. And I thought, well, I don't feel like joining the fraternal order, so I declined the call. And so, I don't know. But it turns out, when the police call you, you should answer. So the phone rang a couple seconds later, and I answered the call, and the police officer said that they had my dog, Ernie, in custody. And I thought, well, that little guy peed on the wrong person this time, and they didn't find it as charming as I find it. So, but turns out Ernie was on walkabout, and that she wanted to return Ernie to me. So I gave her my address, I head home, I met them in the driveway, I leapt out of my car, look in the car window, he's fine. Not a scratch on him. He is in the back with his hair blowing in the air conditioning, biting at the air, just loving life. So the officer, however, was in a little bit of trouble, and I could tell by the officer's tone she had some questions for me. So the first question was, do you always let your dog walk alone, blind, in the neighborhood? And I said, no, ma'am, this is a misunderstanding. I usually have him in a baby carriage. I'm one of those weirdos. And I wheel him through the neighborhood and tell him all the things that he should be smelling. And so I said, no, I do not. And so one thing I forgot to tell you was one of the things that we help him with Ernie's blindness is I put these zip ties on Ernie's collar, and the zip ties were like little whiskers, and the whiskers were to help him to navigate. And I read about it online, and they really did help him. And so the police officer took issue with these zip ties on the collar. So she said, I'm worried about you tying your dog down by his neck. And I said, oh no, he's beloved. We love Ernie. I did not tie him down. And she's not buying it. So I start to pantomime whiskers, like to the police officer. He's got these whiskers, and my cat Tunces, she plays with the whiskers, but usually, and she's starting to buy it. And so she says, okay, I can see that he wasn't escaping his den of torture. You can have Ernie back. So she goes to get Ernie out, so I get 3 things that day. I get my Ernie back, I get a ticket, and I get a new nickname for Ernie, which was Ernie Now, the Delinquent. I didn't get a picture. That would have been amazing, but I thought I was really pushing my luck. Thank you.